YouTube, what's up, y'all? Waiver Wire Fiends, we're back with the Week 14 tight ends that you have to play
My
to get
favorite.
into the fantasy football playoffs, or if you're in them to win. The ones
Hopefully,
you gotta stay away from so you don't lose. You don't want to go home yet. We want to stay a little comfy.
win that
Ooh,
money.
yeah, you already know.
Or those
And
bets say.
if you're looking to win, I got you. Number one tight end you got to play, Evan Ingram. That's
Ooh,
what.
I like it.
Titans give up historically bad numbers to the tight end position. That's who they playing this week. Trevor Lawrence looks good. Travis Etienne ain't going to eat, so it's going to be a pass heavy offense if I'm not mistaken. And if that's the case, Evan Ingram's going to get you a solid 12 to 15. I'm going Evan Ingram with my first pick.
It's funny how you put him up there because that's my first pick. Only because of who
Woo!
is he playing against.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
it seems like that is Trevor Lawrence's favorite touchdown person to go to. It's a
Yeah.
security blanket. Um, for sure, I think he's a solid play to pick up, and especially at this position where you're probably stumbling with who to start every week.
Yeah. At tight end, if you don't have like those top 3, 4 guys, it's kind of just a fantasy grab for whoever you're gonna get, and we're giving you the 3 options here. This one might be a little obvious, and I don't want y'all to give me flack for it because a lot of people were like, "Well, I'm not playing this guy; he's not producing." Give me Kittle, okay? Give me Kittle with a side of Kittle sauce. All right, that dude looked like an actual tight end with Brock Purdue out there, or Purdy, or whatever the hell his name is. Okay, whoever the quarterback was, he looked like a stud with him out there. Okay, give me Kittle. I want Kittle to be in my starting lineup if I got him for a solid 10 to 15.
Okay.
George Kittle. That's me. Who you got number 2?
I'm going with Gerald Everett
Mm,
from Chargers. He's going up against Miami's defense. Um, we saw what they did
yeah.
against no Jimmy team. I don't think they're on the trajectory to do good. I do feel that Justin Herbert will make sure. I think he gets a solid touchdown next week. Uh, I think that team's going to be rolling with all the weapons they have.
Right.
He's
Absolutely.
been, I don't want to say consistent because he's had his moments where he struggled, especially when he got it hurt. But he's been putting up production when he needs to. I feel in the option there.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly, and I love that pick. By the way, the fact that Gerald Everett's still available in some leagues is just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, he's
Anyways, he's just balling, and people aren't picking him up
only an
for it.
83% of Yahoo
Ooh,
league.
what are you doing? I mean, unless the remaining ones are like 16 leagues, what are you doing? And why are you playing in a 16 league? Be a man or a woman, okay? Don't be a child. Anyways, third tight end, quietly becoming consistently one of Russ's favorite targets, Greg Dulcich. And props to you, Nick. You called this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This dude is getting the targets. The volume is there.
Yeah,
Sutton looks like I don't know, a nobody. Like
yeah.
he just ain't there. Give me Dulcich, man. Gotta play him. He's gonna get the production, especially against Kansas City. They're gonna be checking that ball down a lot for some short out routes. I like that kid. So give me Dulcich at my third spot for the must play.
This, this is my favorite position only because I guess I've invested so much in it this fantasy. Even though I've been using a revolving door, but I have Greg Dulcich also
Oh,
only because of what, like you said, what he's been doing. It seems that's probably the only consistent player that Russell Wilson has that he's been feeding. I mean, he had
yeah,
6 receptions, 85 yards, 30 yards for a long ball. Don't expect a touchdown,
right.
but expect consistency, and especially in PPR leagues. I mean, you're going to get your receptions with it. And I feel at that position that some of you are using. I mean, he's only in roster in 35% of Yahoo leagues. He's totally grab him. I
Yeah,
mean, it's one of those things that right after that, you can hold him, play him again on Arizona, which is probably one of the worst tight end defenses there is.
not lying.
And that's one position also that always gets hurt, or as we're about to name, some of these people don't show up.
Yes, that they do not. speaking of the people that don't show up, let's just jump right into it, okay? I got 3 guys. Not that don't show up per se, but I don't like their matchups.
Ooh.
And those 3 guys, the first one is somebody who I vouched for very heavily on Waiver Wire Fans Sunday mornings at 8 a.m., which you should check out if you need fantasy advice. That's Pat Fryermuth. I'm hopping off the bandwagon this week. All right, we touched on it in earlier videos that Ravens defense is going to come to play because they have to.
Yeah,
I'm not trusting anybody on that Pittsburgh offense. I mean, he might still get you 8 to 10, and if that's cool, if that's what you're looking for at a tight end position, rock, do your thing, bro. Rock. 4 for 40 is cool for you. I'm not playing him in my spot.
Ooh. You're not gonna agree with mine because you put him in your list. But George Kittle, walk up to the stage, bro. I'm not saying give up on him. He's one for sure. You don't drop. You don't give up on him. But I feel I need to see what this quarterback can do when a team is scouting you and watching you, and that's my only fear of it. George Kittle, I mean, he's an athlete. I do agree that he's going to especially be his security blanket outside of CMC.
Yep.
But I just feel that it's going to be one of those games where they're going to attack that quarterback, and he's going to make some mistakes that are always made, sadly, with actually a team coming and prepping at you. So I don't feel it's going to be Kittle's fault. I feel it's going to be more of his quarterback's fault.
Yeah, I could see that, and I could. But as much as I did vouch for Kittle, I could see a scenario where the Niners use him as a 6th lineman or somebody who they can kind of use for rub routes, so he might not have big playability. I can understand that, and I understand what you're saying. I don't agree, good sir.
Yeah.
But I can understand your reasoning. So,
I don't have him, so it's fine.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you. My next guy is the person who might do quite possibly the worst gritty I've ever seen. That's Mike Gesicki. I love Mike Gesicki, just so we're clear. I love him. I ain't playing this fool this week. Ain't no way. Because I don't know what the hell that Dolphins offense is. And the Chargers defense got some killers on that team. I feel like they're going to try to force feed Waddle and Hill. And maybe force feed any one of the running backs from their rotating carousel of whoever the hell they decide to play that week. So I'm not playing Mike Gesicki this week.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, he didn't even make my list just because he's giving you 2 zeros. So for me, I'm like, well,
yeah,
you're not good at anything else. Besides, I mean, I wouldn't say dancing either, but I know he was one of those that people probably drafted hoping he was going to do something. And I got one on my list that for sure was that. I'm going to go with Dawson Knox.
Ooh,
of the Bills.
I love this. Yeah.
I get he's playing a New England team that is supposed to be statistically bad against tight ends. But this guy has been so inconsistent this whole year. I think he's had maybe 1 to 2 games over 10 points in fantasy.
Yeah.
He's had a lot more down games. I mean,
that's not enough.
Yeah, I just feel, I mean, he's 80% roster in Yahoo leagues. I don't know why y'all still have him over certain guys that we named beforehand with a lack of consistency. I get you want it because of the big boom play from Buffalo, but let's be honest. Diggs is your number one. McKenzie be vulturing people. There's days where Gabe Davis has a boom or bust. They have 2 running backs now that can seem to catch the ball in Singletary and in Hines. I don't see where Dawson Knox fits in this offense for fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, and for an NFL team, he makes complete sense. For fantasy football, what the hell are you doing here, bro?
Yeah.
I was staying away from him. Yeah, I mean, and you know, situational things happen. You know, Dawson Knox might not be all here mentally, but you know he's just not showing up fantasy wise. So that's all we can do is judge off his performances.
Yep.
My number 3, Foster Moreau.
Ooh.
I thought he was gonna fit in perfectly in Vegas for Waller while he was on the IR, but That man has not. He's been inconsistent. Inconsistency. Dropping passes. Nick, I can't have that. I'm trying to win a championship over here. We're trying to win rings. You got one of these? You got one of these, Foster Moreau? No, you don't. Because you drop passes. That's why.
Oh man.
I'm not playing Foster Moreau. Long story short.
Yeah, I'll say he was fourth on my list for sure. We were to 4 because for sure I don't know what the hell's going on over there and with him.
No.
You had a spot handed to you pretty much, and you just dropping balls.
And you just jumped off the cliff like an idiot.
My third is actually, I mean, sadly I have him, so I have to play him, but I'm not comfortable playing him. I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz of Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
And I'm only going with it because he's playing Houston, and I don't think I'm not saying he's going to be stopped by Houston.
Right.
I just have a feeling that Zeke and Pollard are going to run all over that team, especially a deflated game where they beat themselves against Cleveland.
Yep.
That whole organization seems down, ready for April.
Yep.
I just feel it's going to be one of those games where Dallas is going to go in. They're going to run the ball out. They're going to get a few scores on them, and then it's going to be back up.
GG's no Riri.
Yeah.
It's done and over with. I like that. That's a spicy one because that's on a lot of people's rosters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can still see him getting a couple points, but I don't know if he's going to get no 15 to 20. So.
Yeah.
If y'all made it to this point in the video, make sure y'all hit like, comment, subscribe. Costs you guys nothing. Does a ton for us. We genuinely appreciate it. Try to help us get to 2,000 subs. Make sure you tune into Waiver Wire Fiends 8 a.m. Central on Sundays every single week. We're giving you fantasy advice to help win you championships. We only got a couple weeks left, but if you've been tuning in, you've been happy with the results you've been getting from this advice. So make sure y'all tune in. We'll see y'all then. Till then, peace.
Peace.